The spotlight hit me like a freight train, blinding and unrelenting. As I stumbled onto the glittering stage of Hearts Unscripted, America's hottest reality dating show, my heart pounding so hard, I thought it might crack a rib. I was Alex Rivera, 28, a barista from Queens with zero game and a resume that screamed mediocrity. No modeling gigs, no influencer clout, just a desperate email entry that somehow got me here, shipped off to this Malibu mansion like cargo. And there, across the neon-lit pool from the cluster of polished contestants, stood Julian Hale, the untouchable CEO of Hale Tech, his ice blue eyes locking onto mine with the intensity that made the world tilt, as if he'd been waiting his whole life for this exact nobody to crash his empire. I froze, the producer's voice booming over the speakers. Welcome our wildcard entry. Alex, the everyman heartthrob. Laughter rippled from the crowd of screaming fans behind the glass walls, but Julian didn't laugh. He just watched, his jaw set like chiseled marble, while the host, that slick-talking firecracker Lena Voss, thrust a mic under my chin. Alex, darling, what makes you think you can steal a heart in this den of lions? I stammered something about real connections over fake drama, my voice cracking like a teenager's, but inside, panic clawed at me. This wasn't my life. I'd entered on a whim after my best friend Mia dared me, fresh off another breakup that left me questioning everything, including the nagging ache I'd buried since college, the one that whispered questions about guys like Julian, who looked like sin wrapped in a bespoke suit. The first challenge kicked off that night, a blindfolded trust fall into the pool, partners chosen by some algorithm that paired me with none other than Julian himself. Fate's got a sense of humor, he murmured as we stood on the diving board, his voice low and velvety, like aged whiskey over rocks. Up close, he smelled of cedar and ambition, his broad shoulders straining against his shirt, and when I hesitated, blindfold itching against my lashes, he added, "Fall for me, Alex. I won't let you drown." My stomach flipped, not from the height, but from the way his hand steadied my elbow, warm and sure. I leaped, and he caught me midair, our bodies colliding in a splash that soaked us both, the crowd erupting as water streamed down his face, revealing a grin so rare it felt like stealing sunlight. In that moment, tangled in the pool with his arm around my waist, I felt seen, not as the nobody, but as someone worth catching. But as we surfaced, gasping and laughing, I caught the flicker in his eyes, guarded, almost pained, and wondered what shadows hid behind that perfect facade. Back in the confessional booth later, the camera's red light blinking like an accusatory eye, I spilled my guts to the void. This place is insane. Julian Hale? The guy's a legend, built Hale Tech from a garage startup to a billion-dollar beast, out here judging hearts like it's just another boardroom deal. And me? I'm the kid who burns coffee half the time. Mia's texts buzzed in from back home. Dude, you're viral already. Nobody to heartthrob trending. Don't screw it up. Remember, no more hiding who you are. She knew about the college fling I'd chalked up to experimentation, the one that ended in whispers and shame when my conservative family caught wind. Mia, with her rainbow pins and unapologetic pride, had been my anchor, pushing me to enter the show as a leap of faith. But now, replaying Julian's catch in my head, that old ache stirred, mixing terror with a thrill I couldn't name. The mansion buzzed with energy the next morning, contestants milling about the sun-drenched kitchen like glamorous vultures. There was Tyler, the cocky surfer dude with abs for days and a laugh that grated. Sophia, the fiery artist who eyed everyone with equal suspicion. And Raj, the quiet tech whiz whose dry wit hid a vulnerability that mirrored my own. Julian, as a guest mentor/contestant wildcard, lounged at the island counter, scrolling his phone with the casual dominance of someone who owned the room without trying. "Morning, wildcard," he said without looking up, but his tone held a warmth that made my cheeks burn. I mumbled a hello, pouring cereal like it was brain surgery, when Tyler sauntered over, clapping my shoulder too hard. "Heard you made a splash last night, barista boy. Careful, Julian's not one for strays." The words landed like a jab, laced with the undercurrent of prejudice that simmered in these shows. The assumption that a guy like me, unpolished and unlabeled, couldn't possibly intrigue a man like him. As the day unfolded, Group therapy sessions peeled back layers no one wanted exposed. We sat in a circle on plush white cushions, the ocean view mocking our raw confessions. Sophia went first, her voice trembling. I came out to my family last year. My dad's a pastor. They say they love me, but the silence after? It kills. Nods rippled around. Rod sharing how his immigrant parents equated success with straight marriage, a pressure cooker of expectations. When it was my turn, I hesitated, the words sticking like tar. I'm figuring it out. Grew up in a house where love meant fitting the mold. This show? It's forcing me to break it. Julian's gaze burned into me from across the circle, his fingers drumming a silent rhythm on his knee. Later, during a break, he cornered me by the infinity pool, the waves crashing below like applause. Figuring it out takes courage, Alex. Most people just settle. His proximity sent sparks up my spine, but I deflected with a joke about my latte skills being my only bold move. He chuckled, low and genuine, but his eyes held a storm. Secrets, perhaps, from a life where vulnerability was a liability. That night's elimination dinner crackled with tension, fairy lights twinkling like false promises over the long oak table. Lena announced the twist: anonymous letters, penned truths or lies to sway votes. Mine arrived in a crisp envelope, the script elegant. You're more than you know, don't let fear clip your wings. J. My pulse raced. It had to be Julian. But Tyler's letter to me was venom. Stick to coffee, queer curious. This game's for winners. The slur hit like ice water, dredging up high school taunts I'd buried deep. I crumpled it, but not before Julian noticed, his fork pausing midair. Ignorance thrives in the dark, he said quietly, sliding his own letter across. Blank, except for a single line. Trust the fall. The group vote loomed, alliances fracturing like glass. Sophia pulled me aside, her eyes fierce. Tyler's stirring shit because he's scared. Of us, of change. Stand tall, Alex. Her friendship, forged in shared glances during confessions, felt like a lifeline in this glittering shark tank. As votes tallied, the air thickened. Tyler smirked, convinced his barbs had sunk me, but when Lena read my name as safe, relief crashed over me like that pool dive. Julian's nod was subtle, a tilt of approval that warmed me from the inside out. Post-dinner, the mansion emptied into private balconies, stars winking overhead. I found Julian there, leaning on the railing, city lights sprawling below like his empire. Why me? I blurted, the question tumbling out unbidden. He turned, moonlight carving shadows on his face. Because you're real, Alex. In a world of scripts, you're the glitch that makes it human. His hand brushed mine on the rail, electric and fleeting, igniting questions I'd dodged for years. Was this the show, or something deeper? As he walked away, leaving me with the echo of his cologne, I realized the real drama wasn't the eliminations, it was the unraveling of my own guarded heart. The third day dawned with a challenge designed to shatter illusions. Echoes of the past, where we confronted exes via video call, airing skeletons for the cameras. My screen flickered to life with Ben, my college almost something, his face softened by time, but eyes still sharp with old hurt. You ghosted after that party, Alex. Said it was a mistake. The words hung heavy, the crew zooming in on my flush. It wasn't a mistake, I admitted, voice raw. It was fear. My family, the town. Being gay wasn't an option then. The confession spilled like a dam breaking, Mia's voice in my head cheering from afar. Around the circle, stories poured out. Raj's arranged date disasters, Sophia's church shunning. Tyler squirmed, his ex calling him out for using charm as a shield against his own bisexuality. Julian's turn came last, his screen stayed dark. No exes to summon, he said coolly, but his grip on the chair arm whitened his knuckles. Whispers buzzed, rumors of a closeted past, a boardroom scandal hushed with NDAs. In the confessional, he later admitted to the camera what he wouldn't to us. Power isolates. Love? It's the one acquisition money can't buy. That vulnerability cracked something in me. During the afternoon free time, I wandered the mansion's library, shelves groaning with forgotten tomes, seeking solace in pages. Julian found me there, a rare book in hand. Poetry, Whitman, Leaves of Grass and all. Calamus, he explained, settling beside me on the leather chaise. Songs of comradeship. Forbidden once. Our knees touched, accidental at first, then not. He read aloud, his voice weaving intimacy into the air, lines about manly love and tender touches that made my breath hitch. This is what I build empires to hide, he confessed softly. The world sees the CEO, not the man who craves this. My hand found his, tentative, and he didn't pull away. In that suspended moment, with dust motes dancing in the sunbeams, I leaned in, our lips brushing in a kiss that tasted of salt and secrets. Gentle, exploratory, a question answered. But as we parted, his phone buzzed, a bored alert shattering the bubble. Duty calls, he murmured, regret etching his features. Left alone, I touched my lips, heart soaring and sinking in equal measure. What now? The show was scripted chaos, but this felt perilously real. Evening brought the cocktail mixer, a swirl of clinking glasses and veiled daggers. Tyler cornered me by the bar, breath hot with bourbon. Think you're special? Julian's played this game before, Heartbreaker in Armani. You're just his flavor of the week, experimenting with the help. The prejudice stung, echoing my own doubts, but Sophia intervened, her arm linking mine. Back off, Tyler. Jealousy's ugly on you. Her loyalty, born from our shared outcast vibes, steadied me. Raj joined, cracking a joke about corporate takeovers of the heart, diffusing the tension. Yet as the night wore on, I caught Julian across the room, deep in conversation with producers, his posture rigid. Later, in a hushed balcony huddle, he pulled me aside. Tyler's not wrong about the playing field. My world's ruthless, scandals and careers. But you're the risk I'm willing to take. His words wrapped around me like a promise, but doubt lingered, a shadow in the starlight. The fourth challenge upped the ante, Mirrors of Truth, paired duets where we role-played each other's deepest insecurities. Julian and I drew each other, fate's cruel joke or gift. I donned his suit, barking orders at invisible underlings, mimicking the isolation of boardrooms and betrayals. See? Even kings fall alone, I quipped, but my voice wavered, channeling his hidden loneliness. He, in my faded jeans and tee, shuffled through mock job interviews, stammering about dreams deferred. I'm just the guy who serves coffee, not hearts, he echoed, his delivery so achingly accurate it drew gasps from the group. In the debrief, tears welled, Sophia hugging Raj, Tyler uncharacteristically silent. Julian's eyes met mine, raw and unguarded. You saw me, he whispered post-session, our hands clasping in the emptying room. That night, sleep evaded me, the mansion's hum a backdrop to my racing thoughts. Mia's video call crackled through. Alex, you're glowing. Is it him? Own it. Life's too short for closets. But dawn brought betrayal's whisper. A leaked clip surfaced online, grainy footage of our library kiss, twisted by tabloids into CEO's secret fling with show newbie. My phone exploded with notifications, family texts laced with confusion and condemnation. What is this, Alex? Come home, we'll fix it. The prejudice hit hardest from Mom, her voice message trembling. We love you, son, but this. It's not us. Heart splintered, I confronted Julian in the garden, dew-kissed roses mocking our fragility. Did you know? I demanded, voice breaking. He paled, shaking his head. No, my team's handling the PR spin, but I won't deny us. His embrace was fierce, but Tyler's shadow loomed nearby, smirking from the patio. Told you, barista? You're the scandal now. Conflict raged within me, loyalty to family clashing with this budding truth, the show's cameras feasting on my turmoil. As eliminations loomed, alliances shattered. Sophia rallied us misfits, Raj, me, even a thawing Tyler, in a pact against the producer's games. This isn't just dating, it's survival, she said, her artist soul seeing the beauty in our brokenness. Julian, sidelined by the leak, watched from afar, his empire's lawyers buzzing like hornets. In a stolen moment by the cliffs, waves thundering below, he knelt, not in proposal, but plea. Walk with me through this, Alex. I'm done hiding. Tears stung as I nodded, our foreheads touching, the ocean's roar drowning my fears. But the vote that night was carnage. Tyler ousted, his parting shot a hissed, you'll regret choosing the freak over family. Safe again, but scarred, I retreated to my room, journal in hand, scribbling the chaos. Love's thrill versus prejudice's blade, friendship's glue holding the fractures. Week 2 blurred into a fever dream of escalating drama. The legacy letters challenge forced us to write to our future selves, read aloud under the mansion's chandelier glow. Mine poured out doubts and dawns. Dear Alex, if you're reading this, you've chosen authenticity over approval. Remember Julian's hand in yours. That's the empire worth building. Reading it, voice steady despite the quiver, I felt the group's energy shift, Sophia's applause thunderous. Julian's letter was a masterpiece of restraint. To the man I hoped to be, vulnerable, loved, unapologetic. For him, the hymn hung electric, eyes turning to me, a collective intake of breath. Post-reading, the mansion thrummed with private revelations, Raj coming out fully to his parents via live stream, Sophia sketching our circle as warriors. But outside, the world raged, paparazzi drones buzzing the perimeter, headlines screaming Hale's homosexual hoax. The backlash hit Julian hardest. Board calls pulled him away midday, his face ashen upon return. Investors are spooked, stock dipped 3 points. Guilt gnawed at me. Was I the crack in his armor? In the sauna that evening, steam cloaking our confessions, he bared more. A youth in conservative Connecticut, first love lost to conversion whispers, building Hale Tech as a fortress against feeling. You're the breach, Alex, the beautiful kind. Our conversation wove through sweat and steam, hands linking on the bench, a silent vow. Emerging, renewed, we joined the group bonfire, flames dancing like defiant spirits. Tyler's absence left a void, but his eviction video looped online, a rambling apology laced with regret. I lashed out cause I saw my own mess in you all. Forgiveness flickered, a tentative bridge. Yet misunderstanding brewed. A producer's accidental edit aired a clip of me comforting Raj, arm around shoulder, heads close, framed as flirtation, pitting me against Julian in fan wars. Social media erupted. Team Alex Raj versus Jex Forever, prejudices flaring in comment threads. Another by Switch Up? CEO deserves better than show trash. Mia's calls became lifelines. Ignore the noise, it's fear-talking. Focus on your truth. During a rain-lashed hike challenge, mud slick underfoot, Julian and I lagged behind the pack, thunder rumbling like my doubts. Do you trust this, us? I asked, rain streaking his face. He stopped, cupping my jaw, more than my next quarter's earnings. The kiss that followed was fierce, rain-soaked, a declaration against the storm. But slipping on the trail, I twisted my ankle, Julian carrying me back like a hero from myth, the cameras capturing every strained breath. Recovery brought quiet intimacy. Confined to the sunroom, ankle propped, I watched Julian work from the chaise, laptop balanced on knees, firing off emails with effortless command. Teach me, I said, half joking. He did, breaking down algorithms like bedtime stories, his passion infectious. In turn, I shared barista hacks, the art of reading a customer's soul from their order. Laughter bridged our worlds, but tension simmered. A call from my sister, voice laced with Dad's echoes. Mom's praying extra, Alex. This show's turning you into someone we don't know. The words carved deep, prejudice a family heirloom I'd hoped to discard. Julian overheard, his hand squeezing mine. They'll come around, or we build our own family. His words, simple yet seismic, shifted something fundamental. The mid-season gala erupted in glamour and grit. Contestants in tuxes and gowns, the mansion transformed into a red carpet fever. I borrowed a slim-fit suit, nerves jangling as Julian adjusted my tie, his fingers lingering at my collarbone. You clean up dangerous, he teased, eyes darkening with want unspoken. The event was a whirlwind. Toasts, dances, a live band crooning ballads of lost and found. Sophia twirled with Raj, their joy a beacon. Even eliminated Tyler crashed via video, toasting from afar with slurred sincerity. But midway, a bombshell, Lena announced a viewer-voted twist, public proposals, one pair locked in for the finale. Whispers swirled, eyes on us. During the slow dance, Julian pulled me close, our bodies sinking to the sway. If it's us, say yes, he murmured into my hair. Heart hammering, I nodded, the world narrowing to his heartbeat against mine. Post-gala, euphoria crashed into crisis. My family's intervention arrived unannounced. Mom and Dad, flown in by producers for emotional payoff. Their faces, etched with worry, confronted me in the library. "This Julian, he's using you, son. For ratings, for his image." Dad's voice boomed, prejudice veiled as protection. Mom's tears flowed. "We just want the boy we raised, not this." Confusion. The room spun, old wounds reopening. Julian entered then, composure cracking at their glares. "Mr. and Mrs. Rivera, Alex is a man now. His choices, his strength." The standoff crackled, accusations flying, gold digger jabs at Julian, reckless youth at me. I snapped, voice rising. "This isn't confusion, it's clarity. I love him, and that's not up for debate." Silence fell, heavy as judgment. They left with hugs and hesitations, a seed of understanding planted amid the thorns. Healing began in fragments. Sophia's sketch sessions became therapy, charcoal capturing our raw edges. Raj coded a private app for show confessions, a digital diary of growth. Julian and I stole mornings on the beach, barefoot prints in sand, discussing futures beyond cameras, his vision of inclusive tech, my dream of a queer-friendly cafe chain. But conflict crested with the sabotage reveal. Tyler, from exile, had fed the kiss leak to tabloids, driven by rejected advances on Julian years back at a gala. His confession video dropped, raw and remorseful. I was the nobody then, lashing out at the untouchable. "Alex, you're what I couldn't be, brave." Forgiveness wasn't easy, but in a group call, we extended olive branches, turning pain into unlikely alliance. As finale week loomed, tensions peaked in the ultimate vow prep, a solo reflection retreat in the hills. Alone with journal and sea view, I confronted the mirror, the scared kid versus the man emerging, loved and loving. Julian's note slipped into my pack, read, "You've fallen into my world and made it whole. Marry the mess with me." Tears blurred the ink. Yes, 1,000 times. Returning, the mansion felt like home, friendships forged in fire, Sophia's fierce hugs, Raj's knowing grins. The night before the live show, Julian and I slipped to the rooftop, city lights a carpet below. "No more hiding," he vowed, ring box glinting, a simple band, promise etched. Our kiss sealed it, soft and sure, emotions cresting like waves. Finale night glittered under stadium lights, fans chanting our names. Lena's voice trembled with hype. In a twist of hearts, viewer votes crowned Jex. The proposal stage, petals and projections, awaited. On one knee, Julian's words poured. "Alex, you dropped into my scripted life and wrote the real chapters. Be my partner, in chaos, in calm." Laughter mixed with sobs as I pulled him up. Yes, first fall and all. The kiss, broadcast nationwide, silenced doubters, cheers thundering. Backstage, family waited. Mine, tentative but tearful, embracing Julian with whispered welcomes. Mia hooped from the crowd, pride pins gleaming. Epilogue whispers followed. Hail Tech's diversity surge, my cafe launch with queer baristas, friendships enduring. In the quiet after, curled on our couch overlooking the skyline, Julian traced my hand. "Nobody to everything," he murmured. I smiled, heart full. Just us, finally. And in that, the drama resolved not in climax, but in the steady beat of chosen love. The afterglow of the finale faded into a whirlwind of press junkets and private reckonings, but the real story unfolded in the unscripted days that followed. New York welcomed us back with its relentless pulse. Julian's penthouse, a glass-walled sanctuary overlooking the Hudson, where mornings meant coffee brewed by me, strong, no frills, and him stealing sips with kisses that lingered like lazy Sundays. Yet beneath the bliss, fissures lingered. My ankles still throbbed faintly from the hike, a reminder of stumbles, and family texts arrived sporadically, laced with progress and pullbacks. "Proud of you, son, but take it slow," Dad wrote, his concession a hard-won olive branch. Julian noticed my distraction during a late-night work call, his hand covering mine on the desk. "They're coming around because of you, not despite." His faith in me, unwavering, was the glue holding my mosaic heart. We dove into coupledom with tentative joy, navigating the public's glare. A joint interview on Morning Pulse tested us, hosts probing for scandal, but we turned it to triumph. Julian touting queer innovation at Hailtech, me sharing the cafe blueprint. Rivera Roasts, a chain blending bold brews with safe spaces, inspired by show confessions. Fans flooded sidewalks, stories echoing ours, coming out sparked by our kiss. But prejudice lurked in boardrooms and backstreets. A heckler at our first red carpet spat, freak show, before security whisked him away. Julian's arm tightened around me, his whisper fierce. Their words, not our worth. That night, in the limo, vulnerability surfaced. He confessed nightmares of loss, echoes of his first love's suicide, driven underground by family shame. I built walls to survive. You taught me doors. Holding him through tremors, I realized love's depth, not absence of pain, but presence in it. Friendships from the show wove into our tapestry. Sophia visited, her canvases now gracing gallery walls, themes of reclaimed identities. We hosted a paint-and-pour night, Raj demoing his app updates, now a national tool for LGBTQ+ support groups. Tyler, reformed in rehab, sent awkward but earnest congrats, his path to therapy a mirror to our growth. Mia, ever the spark, planned a double date. Her girlfriend Lena, no relation to the host, fitting seamlessly, their banter lightening our heavier moments. Yet misunderstandings crept in subtle ways. Julian's late nights at the office stirred my insecurities, whispers of ex-flings resurfacing in gossip rags. Is the barista enough for the billionaire? One headline sneered. Confronting him over takeout tie, voice edged, I admitted. I feel like the wild card still, temporary. He set down his chopsticks, eyes locking earnest. You're the constant, Alex. Let me show you. That weekend, he cleared his calendar, whisking me to the Hamptons, cottage by the sea, no phones, just us rebuilding trust in salt air and shared silences. The high crashed with a low. My cafe's launch invite list included family, a bridge too far for Dad's comfort. We'll support from afar, he hedged, prejudices ghost lingering. The opening night buzzed, ribbon cut with Julian's steady hand in mine. Influencers snapping lattes artfully queer-coded. But midway, Mom arrived alone, eyes wide at the pride flags and ally pins on staff. It's beautiful, Alex, like you. Her hug, fierce and first, mended a tear. Dad followed weeks later, gruff but present, sampling a pour-over with a nod. Not bad, son. Progress, incremental, fueled my fire. Julian beamed from the counter, his pride in me brighter than neon signs. Conflict reignited when Hailtech faced a boycott, conservative investors pulling funds over distraction from our visibility. Julian's stress etched lines around his eyes, meetings stretching into dawns. One explosive night, after a slammed door and sharp words, "This is my legacy, Alex, not a photo op." I stormed out, wandering rain-slick streets to Mia's stoop. He's scared of losing control. She soothed over tea, her insight sharp. But you're his anchor, not his chain. Returning at dawn, apology in my posture, we talked till exhaustion. His fears of repeating past isolations, my dread of being sidelined. Reconnection came slow, a board game marathon devolving into laughter, then lovemaking soft as confessions, bodies mapping forgiveness. Summer deepened our roots. A road trip cross-country, show alums in tow, turned into healing odyssey. Grand Canyon sunrises with Sophia's sketches, Route 66 diners where Raj geeked over history, Tyler's guest spot sharing sobriety milestones. Prejudices encountered en route, stairs in small towns, a motel clerk's side-eye, became stories swapped over campfires, bonds unbreakable. Julian and I, driving shotgun shifts, peeled layers. His Connecticut youth, stifled affections, my Queen's grit, masking tenderness. In Yellowstone's geysers, steam veiling our vows renewed, we promised resilience. Autumn brought Apex, my cafe chain's expansion announcement, backed by Hailtech's inclusive arm. Launch gala hummed with allies. Family front row, Dad toasting. To Alex, our trailblazer. But surprise twisted. An ex of Julian's, a bitter venture capitalist, leaked doctored emails suggesting our romance was PR staged. Tabloids feasted, fans fracturing. Devastated, I confronted the mirror of doubt, but Julian rallied evidence, timestamps, witnesses, exposing the forgery. Press conference raw, he declared, love isn't leverage. It's liberation. The backlash boomeranged, supporters surging, stock rebounding on ethical waves. Winter's hush settled us into permanence. Holiday lights twinkled in the penthouse, family dinners blending traditions. Mom's tamales beside Julian's mulled wine. Mia officiated our quiet commitment ceremony, rings exchanged under snowflakes, friends toasting futures. Tyler, sober milestone marked, read a poem of redemption. In the after-party's glow, Julian pulled me to the balcony, city blanketed white. From nobody to now, thank you for the fall. Kissing him, world hushed, I whispered. Together, we're unstoppable. Love, we'd learned, thrived not despite drama, but through it. Emotions etched, characters evolved, prejudices pierced by persistent light. Yet even in this woven peace, undercurrents stirred, reminding us growth was spiral, not line. Spring unfurled with a collaborative project, Julian's tech firm partnering my cafes for AR experiences, virtual coming-out stories scanned via app, fostering empathy in everyday sips. Brainstorm sessions in sunlit lofts buzzed with Sophia's visuals, Raj's code, Mia's marketing flair. But tension threaded in. A young barista, echoing my past, faced family disownment post-hire. Counseling her through tears, I saw my reflection, raw, resolute. Julian joined, sharing his scars, turning pain to purpose. We're not just building businesses, he said, but bridges. Misunderstanding flared anew when a viral clip from our road trip resurfaced. Me and Tyler in a bear hug, captioned salaciously. Fans speculated, old insecurities pricking. History repeating, one tweet jabbed. Jealousy, unbidden, tightened my chest during a solo evening, Julian at a gala. Mia's text pinged. Talk it out. Assumptions are the real villains. Waiting up, I voiced it calmly. That clip. It stirred doubts. He listened, then shared his own haunt. A board member's homophobic aside, questioning his distractions. Laughter followed, absurd in unity. If only they knew you're my superpower. Reaffirmation came in a dawn walk, Central Park blooming, hands entwined against whispers. Friendship's depth tested in crisis. Raj's visa renewal snagged on outdated policies, deportation looming. We mobilized, Julian's lawyers, Sophia's petitions, my network petitions. Late nights in the penthouse, takeout fueling strategy, forged us tighter. Victory, hard won, celebrated with rooftop barbecue, Raj's relief palpable. You all, my chosen family. Tyler, attending virtually, added, redemption's real, thanks to circles like this. Summer's heat wave brought personal climax. My book's proposal, Fallen into Love, a nobody's guide to untouchable hearts, memoir of the show and beyond. Publishers clamored, but revisions unearthed buried grief. Grandpa's unspoken acceptance, a letter found post-mortem. Be true, Mijo. Sharing with Julian over balcony wine, tears mingled. He saw you, Julian consoled, before we did. The book launch, fall foliage framed, sold out. Dad in the signing line, book clutched, wrote it well, son. Pride swelled, prejudices thawing in ink's permanence. Conflict crested unexpectedly, Julian's health scare. A routine check flagging arrhythmia, stress-induced. Hospital lights harsh, my vigil endless, fear clawing. Not leaving you, he rasped, hand in mine. Recovery's rhythm slowed us. Yoga mornings, therapy tandem, unpacking executive armor. Vulnerability's my new KPI, he joked, but earnest beneath. Emerging stronger, Hailtech announced wellness mandates, his legacy humanized. Autumn deepened commitments. Elopement plans with Mia as witness, intimate amid falling leaves. Vows exchanged in a quaint chapel, friends scattering petals, emotions cresting wordless. Honeymoon in Napa, vineyards whispering secrets, we dreamed expansions, global cafes, tech for global good. Winter returned, holidays harmonious, family fused. Yet the truest arc lay in quiet evolutions, my confidence blooming, Julian's tenderness unfurling. In a snow-dusted park, bench shared, he mused, dropped into my reality. You upended it beautifully. Smiling, I replied, and I'd fall again every time. Love, dramatic in its quietudes, proved the ultimate surprise, endless, unfolding. As years layered like city strata, our narrative wove richer threads, drama yielding to depth. The cafes thrived, outposts in Chicago and LA, each a haven, pride events, support nights, baristas like family. One evening in the flagship, a teen approached, eyes wide. Your book got me through coming out. Handing him a free pour, I shared. It gets better, braver. Julian, overhearing from the corner table, winked, his quiet support, ever present. Misunderstandings, rarer now, stung sharper for their scarcity. A tabloid revival. Is Jex fizzling? CEO spotted solo. Stemmed from my solo book tour. Airport's lonely, I texted doubts. His video reply, from a red eye. Solo means space, not separation. Hurry home. Reunion at JFK. Embrace fierce. Dissolved fiction in fact. Media's the real reality show. He laughed, hailing the cab. Friendships evolved. Sophia's gallery show, themes of queer kinship, featured our portraits. Tinder, triumphant. Raj's app went nonprofit, global reach. Tyler, now counselor, guest spoke at cafe events, his story inspiring. Mia's wedding. Us as best couple, danced under stars, her toast, to falls that land in forever. Family arcs arc 2. Dad's volunteering at local center, mom's book club on LGBTQ+ lit. A Thanksgiving, tables groaning, bridged fully, Julian's hand under tablecloth, anchor amid anecdotes. We're family. Dad clinked, eyes misty. Prejudice's embers cooled, warmed by time's hearth. Professional pinnacles intertwined. Hailtech's Queer Innovation Fund, seeded by my insights, launched startups. Conflict arose in vetting. A pitcher's founders passed bigotry unearthed. Board divided, Julian defended. Redemption's possible, look at us. Vote passed, my pride swelling. But pushback came personal. Anonymous threats, homophobic mail. Security tightened, but fear nipped. Therapy unpacked it, turning terror to testimony. Summer sabbatical healed. Italian coast, villas vine-draped. Mornings gelato stolen. Afternoons siestas whispered. One cliffside sunset, Julian knelt anew. Not ring, but journal. Our story, co-authored. Pages chronicled us, show hooks to now. Tears salting prose, I added lines. From nobody to us, magic in the mess. Fall's harvest brought bounty. Books sequel greenlit. Cafes franchising ethically. Yet climax brewed domestic. Adoption inquiries, dreams of expanding family. Agency visits unearthed histories. Julian's longing for the brotherhood he lost young. My yearning for legacy beyond blood. Home studies probed. Vulnerabilities bared. Approval letter arrived snow-dusted, joy exploding. Winter's wonder deepened. First holiday as dads-to-be. Nursery sketches with Sophia. Placement day, tiny bundle in arms. Elias, wide-eyed like my first stage fall. Nights fragmented, love multiplied. Our wild card, Julian cooed, rocking the crib. Spring bloomed paternal. Elias's gurgles soundtrack to mornings. Cafes kid-friendly now. Challenges, sleepless debates on schooling, societal stares at two-dad family. But unity prevailed. Mia's playdates, Raj's gadget gifts, Tyler's parenting tips from afar. Anniversary Eve, rooftop recreated, show playlist soft, candles flickering. 10 years since the plunge, Julian toasted. Dancing slow, Elias asleep below, I whispered, best plot twist. Love's drama, we'd found, was life's pulse. Conflicts conquered, characters cherished, forever falling forward. Decades mark mirrored milestones. Our tapestry textured by trials turned treasures. Elias's first steps, tottering toward us in the penthouse playroom, captured Julian's whoop, un-CEO raw. Like you, buddy, bold entry. Parenting's rhythm schooled us anew. School runs amid board calls, PDA meetings laced with subtle biases. One conference, a parent's aside. Two moms I get, but dads? Pricked. Julian's retort, calm steel. Love parents, period. Elias, oblivious, drew rainbows, his innocence shield. Cafes evolved community hubs, after-school programs, elder story hours. A branch opening in Queens, roots returned, drew childhood friends. Awkward reunions, tales of my fancy life. One, old bully turned ally, apologized. Kid me was scared, man me sees strength. Forgiveness, practiced, flowed freer. Misunderstanding menaced minor. Elias's preschool art, family portrait with two dads, sparked whispers, teacher counseling needed. We advocated, workshops ensued, prejudices peeled in parent circles. Julian's TED Talk, from boardroom to nursery, redefining legacy, went viral, hearts shifted. Friendships flowered, Sophia's motherhood paralleled ours, playgroups chaotic joy. Raj's marriage, tech-tied vows, celebrated with Elias ring-bearer. Tyler's book on recovery, forward by Julian, bridged pasts. Mia's production company optioned our story, script readings laughter-filled, truths honored. Family fused fuller, grandparents doting, dad teaching Elias chess, mom baking bilingual treats. Holidays hybrid, Thanksgiving tamales, Christmas cod, stories spanning shores. A genealogy trip to Puerto Rico, my heritage, unearthed journals, great uncles coded queer love letters. Echoes, I told Julian, beachside. We're the continuation. Professional passions peaked. Hail Tech as AI for allyship, detecting bias in hiring, rolled out globally. My chain hit 50 spots, ethical sourcing spotlighted. Conflict converged in a merger pitch, rival firm. Founders' donations to anti-LGBTQ+ causes. Stalemate raged. Julian walked, integrity intact. Fallout fierce, stock dip, media maelstrom, but rebound roared, brands aligning ethical. Summer sojourn sibling style. Elias's adoption story inspired fostering. A teen girl placed brief, boundaries blurred beautiful. Her goodbye hug, you showed safe, etched deep. Fall fostered focus. Elias's school play, us front row proud. His line on families like stars, different lights, same sky. Winter warmed with wonder. Elias's questions, why two dads? Answered age soft, love picked us. Holiday lights, his awe amplified ours. Spring's renewal, family expansion paused, but therapy tuned us. Parenting's pressures, Julian's workload, my travel. Balance is the new black, Mia quipped at brunch. Anniversaries accumulated, vow renewals intimate, Elias scattering petals. One eve, vineyard echoes, he asked, regret the drop? Grinning, never, best crash landing. Elias, now tween, rolled eyes, gross dads. Laughter lingered, love's legacy living. Elias's adolescence accelerated arcs, teen tempests testing tenacity. Middle school mazes, crushes confessed journals, friend fallouts fierce, mirrored my show stumbles. One night, post-bully taunt, he cried. They called us weird. Julian held him, voice steady. Weird's wonderful, world needs more. Cafes became his lab. Shifts slinging drinks, confidence brewing. A crush on classmate, boy named girl, sparked talks, identity fluid, ours affirming. Misunderstandings multiplied minor. Elias overhearing old headlines, questioning authenticity. Was it real or show? Family dinner delved deep, truths transparent. Real as you, kiddo. His nod, processing, paved pride. Friendships fortified. Sophia's teen art camps, Elias muse. Raj's VR worlds, escapades virtual. Tyler's mentorship, Elias's coach, resilience relayed. Mia's teen series, cameos crafted, visibility vital. Family fortified. Abuela's visits, stories spiced Spanish. Dad's retirement, volunteering vested. Mom's memoir circle, our tales told. Professional pursuits propelled. Hail Tech as metaverse for marginalized voices, cafes VR integrated. Conflict crested corporate. Lawsuit from ex-rival, defamation dragged. Court corridors cold, testimonies trying. Julian's poise, my prep pivotal. Victory vindicated, verdict vocal. Truth triumphs. Summer sojourns, sibling shared. Camp counselor Elias, tales telegraphed. Fall's fervor. High school helm, his speech on diversity, us applauding. Winter's warmth. Hanukkah lights with Raj's kin, Christmas carols communal. Milestones mounted, Elias's prom, us tux tying, nerves nostalgic. College apps, dreams dissected. Film like Sophia, tech like Dad. Acceptance avalanche, his choice. NYU, city close. Empty nest echoed empty, but excitement edged. Travels tandem, Japan's blooms, our renewal. Next chapter, Julian mused, Sakura falling. With cameos from the kid. Elias's launch, dorm drop-off teary, but texts tethered. Holidays home, his glow grown. Grandkids glimpsed in dreams, legacy looping. Decades danced, silver threading hair. Cafes centennials, hail tech horizons. Anniversaries amassed, golden gala, friends family fused. One balcony, sunset shared, Julian sighed. From untouchable to touched, you're doing. Arm linked, I replied. Nobody to now, our epic. Elias's wedding, us walking aisle, his partner proud. Vows voiced, echoes ours. Toasts toasted falls, rises, forever. Twilights, porch swinged, stories spun. Love's drama, distilled. Emotions eternal, conflicts conquered, characters complete. In every glance, the hook held, unexpected, unending.